Here's an AI-based musician.
Oh, we are so bad. It's never been more back than it is right now.
So when people were afraid of getting replaced, being mediocre will not ever pay again the way it has.
DIY.
Okay, DIYers. There was big news last week when there was a company called Udio who is introducing an AI-based platform that enables anyone to create extraordinary music in seconds with text prompts. Now, I very well know that many of you hear AI and you go running out the door. But let me tell you how this relates to some of you that are artists yourself, or maybe that you just do music, because there is a difference between someone who knows that they're an artist, they're a creative. They're not worried about these things here. They understand that this is a reflection of who they are. They understand that this is a form of expression, and they get joy out of the pure process of creating their music and their art. But for those of you who have been playing the role, perhaps of type beat producers, where it's not about you making a beat and then people are saying, you know what? I can see Travis Scott rapping over this. It's not that. It's for those of you that wait until Travis Scott releases an album and you say, I'm going to make a beat like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. And then your literal BeatStars looks like the playlist of his last project. You didn't change anything. You basically you sourced his music, thought about the layers, you studied it, you created a result. You basically trained your own brain, your own algorithm. Oh, wait, that means you're AI. Let's not just leave that for the producers. Let's also talk about the artists out there. The artists who make music that sounds exactly like what just dropped last week. Because outside of your identity as a clone, we don't know who you are. I introduced something that should concern the shit out of you. To any of you that are carbon copies, that are trying to play the role of ChatGPT, you might want to pay attention to this next story. Udio, what the hell is this? Now, I know what you're saying. Some of you out there who are those type rap producers, I don't know what to call y'all types. For you types out there, you're probably saying, shit don't even sound good. I got nothing to worry about. That's what we're saying about your music as well.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Shall we continue? Man, this shit sounds generic. It don't even sound real. Man, it just sounds like a carbon copy of something that's already out. We're talking about you again. Incredible.
Let's fucking go!
Oh, we are so bad. It's never been more back than it is right now.
That felt like an 80s ass scene in a movie. Real ominous when they said that. It's never been as bad as it is right now. That shit hella ominous.
It was so over.
So as you can see, they're basically typing in prompts and allowing, in the same way that you see ChatGPT, they're allowing the AI to source whatever it's been trained with, which we're just assuming that it's music that's already been out there. They're not really transparent about where they're sourcing this shit from. Probably also, it makes it really easy for them to source, I would expect, the mediocre music that is in herds once you go to YouTube and you see type beat. Not talking about the goats out there. I'm not talking about the folks who have utilized that as a marketing tool to enable them to get to a larger audience. Not you. I'm talking about the ones who say yeet type beat, and nigga, that's not even a type beat. Nigga, that's Yeet's beat. It's just your generic version. We don't need you anymore. So when people were afraid of getting replaced, being mediocre will not ever pay again the way it has.
Oh, so bad, so bad.
make those wheels go round. Break it down with that rolling sound.
Brother, my brother, find yourself another hobby. Music ain't it for you. They're going to ensure that too. My brother, I won't even say my brother in music because y'all different. Some of y'all different. Audio is causing a lot of interesting conversations right now, and there are people who are scared shitless. I'm not, because I look at this and I'm like, all right, cool. So you're going to play the role of an assistant. Then you're also dually going to force me to be more creative than I ever been. You're going to also ensure that I don't settle for being mediocre. Hey, thanks for the extra competition, the kick in the ass to always stay innovative, to always ensure that I am putting my imprint on my music and not my influences on my music. Thanks for the pressure. For some of you, you're saying, I can't even make something better than this. What the shit am I going to do? I started to go on the website, and instead of using it, I wanted to see how others who have had more experience have been using the website. Shout out to my guy, Kalen Ellis. He sent this to me via text, and I thought it was really interesting. Here's I don't even know what you call him on here. Here's an AI-based musician named Bobby V who created some prompts. Here's one of the things he created, which is a soulful, bowlful, instrumental hip-hop beat. It's not bad. It's also not spectacular.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
I, as someone that is always confident in my place in creating music, confident that the listeners who do care about nuance, the ones who would not be hypnotized by this, don't represent the 100 or 200 or 300 or 400 people that I am trying to access who still care about where the music comes from. The same way that there are people right now that are vegans that care where their food is coming from, how it's processed. Those are human behaviors that exist in all factions of life, all sections of life. So as you'll have people who are listeners, they'll probably say, does that got AI in it? Almost like it's ingredients. Those people will exist. They will exist. They do exist. So I listen to this and I say, this is interesting. I wonder what it could be if this and I collaborated, further evolving my own sound in ways that I wouldn't have thought of without the help or the influence of this. If I choose to go that route, I still enjoy the process so much that this is something that merely makes me curious, but it's not something I want to commit to. However, some of y'all, you've been replaced in the realest way. I don't say that to evoke any fake emotions. You've been replaced. Here's another one from this creator. It's called We Are So Back, Soul Song.
Remember when they said we were done? Hopes were crushed. Our race was run.
Your hopes
It
is
was
crushed for
so
sure.
Over, so over, so over.
This nigga's moaning.
But now we're so back, baby.
It sounds pretty damn good. Not great, but it sounds pretty damn good. And I have no doubt that it will get better. It will get better. It will get to the point where if you're not someone that makes music, you will not be able to identify some of those digital fragments that you may hear in some of these productions. You won't be able to hear how thin and synthetic it sounds. You won't be able to hear how the quality has dropped off. You won't be able to hear how the vocals don't sound like they're naturally floating from note to note. And these are things that a general audience may or may not even give a damn about. But my core audience will, and they want to hear from Curtis King, not AI Curtis. So when I see this, I look at this and say, well, that's interesting. However, I do have a serious message, and it comes from a very unlikely place. Shout out this platform here called Proper Exhale. Now, Proper Exhale does a lot of Christian-based content, and I thought this was really interesting how they have this review series that they do on their YouTube. It's called Critique Fridays. I'm seeing that it's possibly powered by Rapzilla, which is another Christian hip-hop based platform. How does this relate to you? It relates to all of us that are creating music, especially those of you who are creating mediocre versions of your favorite artists. Listen and listen clearly.
It's like AI Christian Drake. That's the best way to put it. If somebody typed in
This is the
record,
unfortunate part
yeah, go
of
ahead.
where we are in Christian rap too. And I'm gonna hurt some feelings, but it's true. I said it last time. You don't want to be a wedding singer.
Pause it. He said you don't want to be a wedding singer.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Well, if you don't know what a wedding singer is, a wedding singer basically is hired to do cover songs of popular songs. I found this article that said how to become a professional wedding singer. So one thing it suggests is to be a versatile gigging musician performing in a lot of bands, you'll need to have a full repertoire across all key genres. The more songs, the better. This won't help what you're singing, but it will mean that you can take advantage of last-minute requests from bands that only play pop or rock or Motown. So AI about to turn some of y'all into wedding singers, and there's still gonna be better wedding singers than y'all gonna be. It's nasty out here.
But it's true, because a lot of times what ends up happening is this is a great song. So I'm not saying it's not a great song, but remember who created the style and remember where you are, and try to make sure that you're always kind of making it your own, creating ownership of that style and doing something different on purpose and seeing what else works, so that you're not, you know, we don't think like that because we don't think anyone's gonna like say anything. But
bro, we're all saying it inside of our brain. How many times you didn't listen to your homie music and you was like, oh God, he's in his J. Cole bag now. Oh God, this guy thinks he's Black Thought. I'll say it out loud. Hey bro, you been listening to a lot of Black Thought, huh? Oh bro, you heard that new Drake too? That's the worst thing. Somebody listens to your music and then bring up a conversation about the artist that you biting from. Completely negate the fact that we're listening to my music. That's what you gotta say? Is just talk about the other artists? I'm gonna let him continue though.
You never know who's gonna listen. You never know what, you know, you have to represent things in a very clear way. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I feel like this has to be said because we're oversaturated with artists that have not had this conversation yet.
Yeah.
And and this is not to say that every big artist that we consider big in this genre has started this way, and it's noticeable in people's discographies.
Facts.
Right? So it's important to have this conversation to grow. But remember that if you're going to put it out, you might run the risk of people saying you sound like Drake a lot or this person a lot.
Fam, you're not gonna have a choice anymore. DIYers.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
You're not going to have a choice anymore because now AI has picked its first person it wants to replace and study. And I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing. Hate me for saying that. I don't give a dog shit. For those of you that think that your Spotify streaming metrics is a reflection of your professionalism, you've been lied to. For those of you that have been told your ability to sound like Drake, your ability to sound like the people that are official makes you official, makes you as professional, makes you as big, those people have lied to you. To sum this up, I like to talk about this quote right here from a gentleman named Nick St. Pierre. Do not know who this is, but he says, my entire timeline right now is AI-generated lyrics over an AI-generated beat, packaged in AI-generated album art, and shared to an AI audience with an AI-generated caption in promotion of AI.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
This is our lives in a really neatly packaged message. I'm sorry to tell you, those of you that think that you're I'm so ahead of the game using ChatGPT, we know you're using ChatGPT. We know. All of you people that get on your timeline and all of a sudden you're talking like a marketer from 1988. Wow! Have you ever heard amazing music like this? Rocket ship emoji. Thumbs up emoji. Oh shit! This is the future. If you think for a second we don't know that you're using ChatGPT terribly, you're mistaken. We know. This is already showing you how quickly we're adapting to AI and how our expectations are moving as quickly with that. We're even seeing how we're able to pick it out. You can put me to a test right now, and I'm gonna score a really high percentage of knowing what songs are AI versus what songs are real songs. Now, will it get better with time? Abso-effing-lutely. Will I get better with time? I better, because now the pressure is on, but I like this pressure. Now the pressure is on we're not looking to compete with AI. I don't need to compete with the mediocre version of all the things it's sourcing. If I stay evolving, if I continue to learn from other sources that don't make any rational sense as it goes to my timeline of music, AI will have to train itself again to catch up with the 2025 version of Curtis. And if I continue to do this, which I should be doing, evolving and not just staying in one place, This will make me a better artist. You know what can even make me a super powered artist? If I utilize AI in directions or ways that it can help alleviate some of the more meticulous steps that someone in the 80s, someone in the 70s, I think Childish Gambino said, he said, can you imagine how better of an actor Elvis would have been had he had the access that we have to music and the speed in which music is made versus when he was dealing with real? Basically, when he was dealing with studios that had hardware that worked at a different speed. Could you imagine the amount of time he could have spent more extra with his lines, his acting? No, he had so many things he had to do, and time was a lot slower to process these things. Now we're living in a time where we have evolved and we have tools that can help us evolve at a quicker pace. I look at this and don't get nervous, and you shouldn't get nervous if you love this craft, no matter what it chooses to do, no matter how it chooses to compete. If it's on my website, it's me. If it's from my platform, it's me. If I put my name on it, damn it, it's me. And I will protect that at all costs. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the laws that are trying to keep up with this stuff, but I will protect that at all costs. I'm not concerned about this, but some of you should. That mediocre version that you've been doing, that you've been able to generate beat sales off of because your ability to copy what was never your creation, shit's over with. The rappers who have been trying their best impersonation to sing notes they cannot sing because of the help of autotune. Autotune can't save you from AI. It's time to either go find what you were meant to do or do it better. Those are my thoughts though, DIYers. You let me know what you think. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.